He walks into the room and says nothing, but everyone feels it. He doesn't beg for attention. He doesn't need to. His presence is enough, not because he's loud or charming or impossibly handsome, but because there's something deeper at work. This is the power of Austen's men, the kind of men who don't sparkle in the spotlight, but who change lives in silence. For over 200 years, readers have fallen in love with Mr. Darcy, Mr. Knightley, Captain Wentworth, and Colonel Brandon. And it's not just because Jane Austen created perfect gentlemen. It's because she created men who reveal their true power slowly, and that power is charisma. Not the shallow kind that fades after a few clever lines, but the kind that grows the more you see of a man's soul. In a world where wealth, beauty, and wit were currency, Jane Austen gave us something far more subversive. Heroes whose real appeal lay beneath the surface. To Austen, charisma wasn't about smooth talk or dramatic gestures. It was about moral depth, emotional intelligence, and steady devotion. Her gentlemen don't command attention. They earn respect. And that's what makes them timeless. Each hero in her novels offers a different shade of charm. Darcy's reserve, Knightley's steadiness, Wentworth's longing, Brandon's patience. Together, they form a quiet rebellion against empty flirtation and shallow charm. Let's explore how each one of these men shows us a different path to real, lasting charisma. Fitzwilliam Darcy from Pride and Prejudice is the archetype of the brooding romantic hero. At first, his aloofness and pride repel both Elizabeth Bennet and the reader. But it is precisely this restraint, this emotional control, that becomes magnetic once his deeper character is revealed. Darcy's charisma lies in his capacity for self-reflection and change. He listens to Elizabeth's harsh critique and transforms, not to win her, but because he values integrity. That inner strength, paired with a quiet passion that reveals itself in his actions, such as rescuing Lydia's reputation, makes him unforgettable. He doesn't need to charm with words. His actions speak volumes. These are the kinds of reflections I expand on in my interactive literary journal. Linked in the bio if you'd like to explore more. If Darcy is the thunderstorm, Mr. Knightley is the steady fire. In Emma, he's not trying to be impressive. He doesn't chase anyone. He doesn't dominate a room. But everyone listens when he speaks. Knightley's strength comes from his unshakable sense of right and wrong and his refusal to indulge in flattery. When Emma mocks Miss Bates, he's the one who calls her out. Not cruelly, not publicly, but honestly. And when Emma needs someone to believe in her, even when she can't see herself clearly, Knightley is there. His charisma lies in the way he makes space for Emma to grow. He doesn't try to control her. He respects her mind, and he loves her flaws. That kind of loyalty, that kind of emotional maturity. It's the charisma of a man who never needs applause to do the right thing. Captain Wentworth might not have Darcy's estate or Knightley's social position, but he brings something else entirely. Passion laced with pain. In Persuasion, we meet him after years of silence. Years after Anne Elliot was persuaded to break off their engagement. He returns, wealthy and accomplished, but still wounded. His charisma? It lies in that simmering intensity he keeps just below the surface. He is courteous, even when heartbroken. He watches Anne from afar, testing the water, waiting for signs. And when he finally writes her that letter, "You pierce my soul. I am half agony, half hope." We understand. This is a man who has loved deeply, silently, and faithfully. Wentworth's charisma is in his vulnerability, his capacity for longing without bitterness, passion without pride. In a world of second chances, he shows us what love looks like when it survives the wreckage of time. Colonel Brandon doesn't sparkle like Willoughby. He doesn't flirt, doesn't boast, doesn't stand out. But that's precisely the point. In Sense and Sensibility, Brandon is the man who waits, who watches, who helps, quietly, selflessly. He rescues a fallen woman, offers a home to a disgraced friend, carries Marianne through a storm, and never asks for recognition. Brandon's charisma is subtle. It's in his mature love, a love not based on fantasy, but on truly seeing someone, and staying even when they can't see you back. In a world obsessed with excitement, he offers peace, reliability, strength without ego. He doesn't need to dazzle. He just needs to be there. And in the end, that constancy becomes the most attractive thing of all. These four men couldn't be more different. Darcy is proud, Knightley is patient, Wentworth is intense, Brandon is reserved. And yet, they all share something that gives them lasting appeal. They grow. They love deeply, but respectfully. They act when it matters, even if no one is watching. Their charisma is not in their words, it's in their character, in how they handle disappointment, how they respond to challenge, how they treat the women they love. They are not perfect, but they are willing to become better. That, in Austen's world, is the real mark of a gentleman. And that's why their appeal has lasted centuries, because they remind us that real romance isn't about being impressive. It's about being worthy. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the quiet power of Austen's most beloved gentleman, don't forget to follow the channel for more reflections on classic literature, timeless characters, and the stories that still move us today. Your voice matters here, so tell me in the comments, which Austen character should we explore next? Would you like a video on the most misunderstood heroines? Or maybe a closer look at Austen's villains and what they reveal about society? Let's keep the conversation going, because some stories are worth lingering over.